Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I wanted to share a card that I am making using one of the stamp sets and the Thinlet dies that are on the Stampin' Up! Last Chance list, which means they are retiring. And I love this set and these coordinating Thinlets, and this is one, you have those stamp sets that you think, okay, I'm never getting rid of this one. Well, this is one. I use it quite a bit for birthdays and anniversaries. I love the size of the numbers and the font of the numbers. And so today I'm going to be making an anniversary card, and I'm also going to be using some of our retiring colors. And the card base is Pink Pirouette, which is one of our current subtles, and it is being discontinued. It's a really light shade of pink, and I'm using that for my card base. It's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it in half, and that's at the 4 1/4 mark. So I'm going to set that aside, and I want to do another layer on top of this of Pink Pirouette as well. And I'm going to pull in my Big Shot and use an embossing folder that is currently in the Stampin' Applications catalog. It's this one, the Petal Pear. It comes with 2 thin embossing folders. I'm using this one with the blossoms, and there's also a one that's narrow with like little stems and leaves on it. So I've already embossed one end of this. As you can see, it makes a beautiful impression. And this is going to be this top layer, and it is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm bordering the top, and I'm going to border the bottom as well. So what I did is I just slipped this card layer into the embossing folder, and I brought it down as close to the edge of the card as I could, and I really just centered it there. And I'm going to use my Big Shot with my platform, want no layer on top of that, a cutting plate, and then I'm going to put the embossing folder with the cardstock in, and another cutting plate on top, and just run that through. Okay, let's move the Big Shot out of the way, and we'll get that piece of Pink Pirouette that's going to be just so pretty with that embossing on the top and the bottom. So it's just beautiful, as you can see. All right, so now I have that ready, and I'm going to go ahead and put an embellishment on, which usually I put an embellishment at the end, but I've already designed this card and made one previously, so I know that I'm going to use this Whisper White silver metallic ribbon tied around this center section. And this is my very last piece of this. I'm going to need to order some more. It also comes in very vanilla and with a gold metallic edge, and it comes in Berry Burst with a silver metallic edge. Really pretty ribbon, and ties a pretty bow. I was going to try a different ribbon treatment on this, but I decided to go ahead and use a bow. It fit the card along with the floral images. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and trim a bit. And you can leave the little tails as long as you like. But like, again, I know it's going there, so I'm going to go ahead and put that, and it'll be ready to go. Okay, so now let's get ready for some stamping. And I'm using some images from this set. I'm going to be using the stems with the leaves and the little blossoms here. These two, and then this little one that looks like a, I don't know, wisteria. I'm not great on naming my flowers, so I'm sure somebody can tell me what that flower is. Okay, so here's the stem. It's already mounted on my block, and I have just a Pear Pizzazz Stampin' spot That's all I have here with me in this studio in Missouri, so I'll have to bring the big full-size pad, ink that up, and I just have a piece of Whisper White. It doesn't have to be any certain size. I just know I'm going to be cutting an oval from this, so I'm going to just stamp it a couple of times, just so that I can be sure I get a full oval with stamped images in it. Okay, and I think I'm going to come up a little higher. That, and I'm going to go ahead and go one more time just in case I need that edge. I'd rather have that and not need it. So I'm going to fill in just like that. Okay, that works. All right, so now let's do some stamping of these little blossoms. I have this one already mounted. I have my pink pirouette marker, and I'm just going to color using the side of the brush tip in. On your Stampin' Right markers, when you're coloring stamped images like this, unless it's a very fine area, you want to use the side of your brush tip instead of mashing down on the point. Okay, so let's see. I can go right here. All right, let's try it again. Find another place. Here's another place where there are two ends of the stems that I can put these little blossoms. Okay, and I think that might be good. The rest of them I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use this other little blossom here, and on this one I'm using another retiring or color that's being discontinued, a very pale blue in our Subtles collection, which is Soft Sky. And so I'm just coloring the sides. And I'm going to use this one several times. So let's put it there. And you can see that just that little pop of additional color really makes it real pretty. There's another little flower. I think it's a 5-petal flower in this set too, but I just chose to use these two. I like the color it adds. Okay. There's a place for one, and there's a little place right there, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay. I will tell you that the stamp sets that are retiring, such as this one, number of years, these are guaranteed to be available through May 25th, 2018. You know, Stampin' Up! Will keep producing them until that date. Now, the framelets, or thinlets, I believe these are framelets, these are only available while supplies last. And like I said, this is a great number set to have, and I'm definitely hanging on to that one. Okay. I'm looking here and I'm seeing another space, and although it may be cut out of the oval, I may position that oval where I need that color there, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. Okay. Oh, one more space. You're probably seeing it and I'm too busy talking. So let me go ahead and put that in right there. Look. And like I said, it may be cut out, but I don't want to need it and not have it. Okay, so now we're going to do some cutting with an oval. And I'm just going to come over it like this and try to get as much color in as I can. So I'm liking that. And quite honestly, I wish I would have stamped up a little farther, but it's going to be okay. I'm going to have numbers, the number framelits over that, so I think it's going to be just fine. So let me get the big shot in again. This one's going to take a different sandwich. Okay, there's the bottom platform. And I need this top one. And then a plate, which I know these are really in bad shape, but they still work. They're fine. I think I have a set of new ones. It's just I hate to break them open. That's crazy. Huh. All right. Let's go ahead and cut it like that. I like getting that pink in there. And move this down. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, so there we have that piece. Very pretty. I'm pleased with how the color came out there. And so to back this, these are cut with the layering oval framelits, and I chose the next largest scallop so I would have that pretty border around the edge. And so let me go ahead and use some snail and get that on for top, just like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I've already pre-cut the numbers I need for the 11th anniversary, and I'm just going to get this out of the way here, that this will work. I went ahead and cut them in the color of the cardstock that I wanted it to be. First I tried stamping them because, you know, we have the number stamps, but I find that when I'm going to add it, and especially if I'm going over a background of Whisper White, that if I use the solid color of the cardstock, I like the look much better. And also I could have stamped the one over this, but I'm going to do something else a little different, and so I didn't need to stamp, and you'll see that in just a minute. I'm going to take my clear Wink of Stella, and we're going to give this card a little shine and shimmer, and all you do is paint over it, and it's like you've glittered it in a very quick, easy, and fast drying way. So that kind of deepens the color of the cardstock as well when you use the Wink of Stella. I mean, it dries a little bit lighter than this, but I really like this look. And I love using Wink of Stella. Okay. So now I'm going to take, and this is going to go over top. You see how pretty that's going to be? I love that. Okay, so let's take some of liquid glue and sparingly put some on the back there, and that Whisper White oval behind it, in a way it's like we just made our own little designer paper to back and frame out these numbers. Okay, here we go. I like using the liquid glue on this because I can move my numbers around if needed. Okay, so now we have our card layer. This is going to go right there, and I'm looking, and my numbers need to be adjusted a bit. Again, a wonderful reason for using our liquid glue. Just like that. So I am going to take and use some Stampin' Dimensionals and pop that baby up. It is a beautiful day here. When I'm recording this, I'm in Southwest Missouri, and the sun is out. It's a beautiful spring day. It was cool this morning, probably in the 50s, getting up to the 70s, mid 70s, and it's just a beautiful day. I'm trying to get finished so maybe I can get outside a little bit. Okay, now that 11 looks like maybe it could be a birthday card, right? It could, but it's an anniversary card, so I've already pre-stamped the words happy and anniversary and birthday are in this stamp set, and I stamped them separately. I have the scrap pieces of Whisper White cardstock, and they're about a ½ inch wide, and I keep those because they're the perfect size for stamping sentiments for many of our stamps. And so here I'm going to be attaching it over this embossed area, and when I do that, if I'm not popping it up on dimensionals, I like to use liquid glue so it can get down in those crevices and get a good hold. Okay, let's straighten this up and just center that. I just kind of bannered the ends there to give it a fun look. Okay, so now all that's left is just a couple of steps. Here again, using the liquid glue. And I'm going to just attach it over top like that. And can you see all of that embossing? It almost looks like the whole card front is embossed because of how I positioned the main image here. Okay, so on another card I added a few of our rhinestones, so I'm going to go ahead and do that again. And I'm just going to put 3 because sometimes I believe less is more. Seems like I've been saying that a lot lately because sometimes I get too adventurous or excited or whatever the word should be, and want to put too many little embellishments. But I find that, you know, just a few to give it a little bit of sparkle. And so there is our card. And let me show you the other one I made. It's just like it. Ribbon a little shorter is the only difference. A 10th anniversary and 11th anniversary. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember the products that I've used on this, the stamp set, the cardstock, the inks, most of the pink pirouette and the soft sky, and the framelits are all retiring. So if you need any help finding those, let me know. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.